in a billion chance that this life we have is not someone's simulation, someone's plaything, if you would. So he said a 1 in a billion chance that it's not that. So in other words, he's saying that the real likelihood is that it is someone's computer game, someone's simulation, someone's plaything. And in fact, in the same article, there were two other eminent people, scientists, etc., who have said very similar things down the years. And someone else actually said, interestingly, he said, "Well, yeah," he said, "it's possible." He said because it could just be another way of describing our creator, God, or whatever. You know, someone's plaything is that's probably not the right word, but someone's creation. And yeah, I think Musk is really saying that he thinks there's something behind this that is generating what we have here. But yeah, it's a long-winded answer to your question, but I think it must be inevitable that there would be aliens. We will call them aliens. To them, we're aliens, of course, but out there, it probably in great numbers, in billions of stars, planets, and so on. So it could be just like that. So yeah, I do believe in that, and in fact, a lot of people believe that they've actually visited us in the last century. A lot of people believe that Eisenhower actually met with them, and of course, this is the Area 51 where it's long been thought that an alien spacecraft crashed. And then it's all, and when it's come up from time to time, the authorities, they show pictures of probably some ridiculous little being who's not real, so as to think, oh, it's all a load of rubbish. And I think perhaps they're dependent on the public thinking it is a load of rubbish. So yeah, I don't know either way, of course, but I have a hunch that aliens have visited Earth before. I just have that feeling, but it's a bit out there, that off the wall, isn't it? And we have no evidence, so it's only what we maybe perceive ourselves from things we've read. But and I've read a couple of books which are very, very convincing about a spacecraft once in this country in Norfolk some years ago, in the 80s, a spacecraft that landed and eventually went again, but there was a lot of evidence of burning activity around in this wood, in this forest. I think it's Rendlesham Forest, something like that. Anyone, if you see a book about Rendlesham, is it Forest? Rendlesham. It's an American air base there, and it's a. If you read that book, I would be surprised if even you, who says you don't believe in aliens, wouldn't say afterwards, actually, I think there's something about this. I've got the book somewhere, but I know it's to do with Rendlesham. It's a Rendlesham Air Base in Norfolk. Anyway, so yeah, that's we think of aliens. How do we see them? One thing I was going to suggest talking about today was about do we ever really see ourselves as others see us?
Oh yeah,
which is quite a fascinating subject, isn't it?
it
Do
is.
you think? Let me ask you that question. Do you think we see ourselves as others see us?
Yeah, I actually. All right, so I think it might have been like 10 years ago or more, and I looked in the mirror. You might think I'm
You
losing my
looked in the
mind.
mirror, yeah, yeah.
I
Go
look,
on.
I looked in the mirror, and I stared at myself in the mirror for about 2 minutes, and it felt like eternity. Um,
Go on. I'll refrain.
for about 2 minutes, and it felt like eternity. Um,
Go on. I'll refrain from asking a question. There. Go on. Off you go. Now you know what I put up with every week on this screen. No, I didn't mean that. That was not very nice. My apologies.
And
Do
I stand,
carry on, sir.
and I stand in this mirror for about 2 minutes. It feels like eternity. And I kept asking myself, who are you? And I don't know.
Well, I've been getting worried about you, Cuz, I must say. Nurse, get the screens.
I kept asking,
Who are you?
I kept asking this guy in the mirror. I said, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "That's you, right?" So, well, if that's you, who are you? And I didn't get an answer, but I went
Well,
away.
I'll talk about. Go on. No, go on. You
Anyway,
carry on.
I went away from that little activity, fruitless activity, even more confused.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting subject, really. The whole, and it touches on how I would deal with this question: do we ever really see ourselves as others see us? Now, if we take it literally, because obviously when we say that, we're probably saying, do they make an assessment of us, our personality, our idiosyncrasies, and all the rest of it? But actually, if we look at it literally, first of all, the answer is no. We will never see ourselves as others see us, really. And the reason is it starts with a mirror. Funnily enough, you've mentioned that. And it's something called the mirror effect. And that's a thing, the mirror effect. And did you know, for example, when you look in the mirror, and you said you looked for 2 minutes, so you obviously studied your doppelganger or whatever for 2 minutes. But what you look at when you look in the mirror, or when any of us look in the mirror, is not what people see of us. We're not seeing what they see. And the reason is, believe it or not, the brain tries to fool, well, it does fool us by reversing the image. Now, if I took a picture of you, Cuz, right, even of you on the screen,
Yeah.
that photograph will come out not like a mirror image, it will come out as you are.
All right.
So when you look at that photograph I show you that I've taken of you, you will see what other people see.
Right.
But if you look in the mirror, you won't see what other people see because they've reversed it. You've probably seen, sometimes in a magazine article or something, they prove the point that our faces are not symmetrical.